I will not row.
Wow. He's sticking to his gun. Adam Hill of Norway.
So that was Emil Lappin.
It's all about rules.
Emil Lappin was the fan that was on Sky Sports in the UK.
Amazing interview from her standpoint.
She did amazing.
Like, I would have exploded at some point. But like, dude, are you serious? Come on.
This is talk about no fun. Like, it is one. Norway is the is a tiny population. They have no soccer history before this tournament. Really, they have no soccer history before Erling Haaland, who is unbelievable in every which way. But come on, dude. Like, just have some fun. This is like one of the best sporting moments ever for Norway. I know they're amazing in the Winter Olympics, but come on. It's so much fun. And now it's a great thing moving forward for them because, you know what? You associate their sportingness, for lack of a better word, with this. And I think that's a great thing for everyone to say, oh, they're like the Vikings. Great. Perfect.
Yesterday, we saw a good example, execution of fight promoting 101. I'm sure the Black Cloud, the Gray Cloud, Adam Hill will rain on Conor McGregor's parade, but he made the weigh-in fun. The violence, it's on his way. UFC 329 preview with Adam coming up.
Evan Kent and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If you think about some of the players he's played with, Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, not an all-time player, but an all-time Celtic fan favorite. It is more Jason Tatum's team today than it ever has been. So if they're fed up with Jaylen Brown, could Jason Tatum have stopped it? You're damn right he could.
Weekday mornings starting at 3 on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM.
This traffic report is brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Las Vegas. Visit us at jlrlv.com.
Showing Centennial closed in both directions between Ann Road and Tropical Parkway due to an accident. Also an accident, MLK southbound at Gowan. Durango northbound before the Southern Beltway, 15 northbound at Trop.
This traffic report was brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Las Vegas. Visit us at jlrlv.com. Here's your chance to own a luxury vehicle at a non-luxury price. Hi, this is Brennan, General Manager at Jaguar Land Rover Las Vegas. Come and see a variety of our certified pre-owned vehicles at Jaguar Land Rover Las Vegas or visit us online at jlrlv.com.
Hey, Aviators fans! The Tacoma Rainiers, affiliate of the Seattle Mariners, have rained into the Las Vegas ballpark this week, and your Aviators are drying them out. Check out the schedule. Thursday, it's $2 beer night. Friday, come see the Aviators' huge post-game fireworks show. Saturday is the Aviators soccer jersey giveaway. And Sunday, it's family day, and kids can run the bases. Game time noon. There's free parking, easy access, great food, and plenty of good times. Aviators baseball. Life's just better at Las Vegas Ballpark.
Farhan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. You want an attorney who does everything in his power to translate knowledge and experience into big bucks in your pocket. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
If you've been hurt, Naqvi is the word. Call 702-INJURED.
My name is Christina Martini, and I attended the Mark Patrick seminar. And because of the seminar, I lost over 27 pounds in a course of about 4 months.
Oh, wow. That's remarkable. Join Mark Patrick's Hypnosis Seminar. Lose the weight or stop smoking, only $59.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis, Sunday, July 12th at the Santa Fe Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Weight loss hypnosis at 11 a.m. Stop smoking hypnosis at 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55 plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
Hey, Jeff, how's the new job working out?
Really sucks. Terrible boss and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait, what?
Truck you.
You don't have to curse at me.
Dude, you should check out Truck You CDL training. My brother got his CDL license in 4 weeks and now he has a new career making great money.
Okay, I'm listening.
Truck You offers small classes with night and weekend times available. They will even help with payment programs. Check them out. LV.com. Truck You.
This summer, skip the airport chaos and hit the road for the perfect family getaway in Cedar City. In just 3 hours, you'll trade the desert heat for cool mountain air, breathtaking scenery, and outdoor adventure everyone will love. From hiking and biking to fishing and stargazing, Cedar City delivers big fun without the big price tag. Ride the chairlift at Bryan Head Resort, catch a show at the Utah Shakespeare Festival, and explore nearby national parks. Start planning your summer escape today at visitcedarcity.com.
Luxury, confidence, and a payment designed around you. During the Lincoln Certified Sales Event at Findlay Lincoln, enjoy 2.99% APR financing for up to 48 months, or choose 4.99% APR for up to 72 months on all Lincoln Certified pre-owned vehicles, including Lincoln Black Label. It's the refined driving experience you expect, with options that make it yours. Visit Findlay Lincoln of Henderson today. Experience luxury. Embrace affordability. Findlay Lincoln, elevating your drive.
Gambler's Bonus hits again. On June 14th, Betty hit 4 fours, clearing her Gambler's Bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $11,000. Betty hit big and so can you with Gambler's Bonus. It's why you play the game.
Coming back here.
ESPN Las Vegas, live from Gold.
Adam's good to go.
Inside the Treasure Island.
Good to see one of our longtime listeners, Dan the Cookie Man. Relax, Jeff. You got the cookies. You brought the cookies. I know you're looking at them. Next break, man. Next break. All right, let's bring in Adam Hill. A lot of big topics to talk about today. UFC 329 is in town. Adam sporadically covers UFC. He's covering this one because he got granted access to the White House. But it's a big card. We know that. The numbers are pretty wacko in terms of the gate. What's up, Adam? How are you?
First of all, I cover any premium event in Las Vegas, and obviously the return of Conor McGregor is a big one. So, yeah, I think it's a big fight week.
Don't take the bait. You know I'm busting chops. Sure. I saw your story about Dana White saying yesterday, hey, the gate, the number was going to be gigantic. How big is it, and where does it rank all time?
So he says number one. I will believe that when I see it. The current number one is the Sphere show, where tickets were astronomical. Obviously, they don't have that many seats in there. I believe it was around 21 million was the gate in that show, which worked out to like 1,500 per seat. They'd have to get like over 1,200 per seat, I think, something like that, with the math works out to break that record. So I know the tickets were expensive. We'll see what live gate they announce on Saturday night. It'll be closer to Sunday morning by the time the press conference happens. But they say it's going to be number one. I have a hard time believing that, but maybe they'll make the T-Mobile record, which I believe is the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather boxing match, was around 17.5 million.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about the whatever it was, the face-off where Conor McGregor runs across the stage, throws Max Holloway's glasses away, and then is being held back. What do you think?
So this is what I wrote, and I don't think my story might have just posted. I'm not sure if it did yet on Conor McGregor. This is the sense that I've gotten from Conor all week. He was very different Wednesday at media day. It was a different kind of Conor. Very chill. Almost introspective in a lot of ways. Admitted that he got caught up in fame and fortune, and that sidetracked him. And usually he wouldn't admit that. He also did blame starting the whiskey company for his alcoholism. Basically said like he didn't really drink that much at the time, and then all of a sudden he had to promote whiskey every single night, and it created a situation where he was just drinking all the time to try to promote it, and that kind of spiraled him out of control. Like, I mean, he was things that he very rarely says, and he was opening up a little bit. And then yesterday, the crowd is there, and it's Conor McGregor of old, right? It's standing up and yelling and screaming and singing Wonderwall for some reason, talking a lot of trash to Max Holloway, who I don't think he dislikes at all. Like, he was putting on a show. Right. Like, Conor wants to be back in front of the crowd. That's why he's fighting. I mean, I think he probably needs money too, but he wants to be in front of a crowd. He wants that adulation. He doesn't get it at home. I was told from one of the media members over there that Conor McGregor is the second worst thing to ever come out of Ireland, and that the first was the famine. So I don't think he's very well liked in Ireland anymore. I think the poll numbers would indicate that when he's running for president. But I think he wants to be here where people love him and stand up in front of the crowd and crack jokes and make fun of people and get attention. And that's fine. I mean, that's why he's famous. That's why he's so loved. But his cultural relevance hasn't really dipped. And we saw World Cup players doing his celebration after scoring goals. Like, he is still very relevant despite not competing for 5 years. But he just wanted to be in front of a crowd again. I think that's what we saw yesterday. And he was giving them something to cheer about when he ripped Max Holloway's glasses off.
And Adam, yet again, this is just for me. And again, I'm not a huge UFC guy, but I'll watch tomorrow just because I want to see what McGregor looks like. And I know that a lot of people will be rooting for McGregor. I will be rooting for the other side in Max tomorrow.
Well, I assume you'll be betting on the other side, which I would very highly advise.
Yep. That will play a role.
I think he's a great bet. I think he's a really good value. Now, doesn't mean he's definitely going to win. And man, I cannot believe, and this usually doesn't happen, and Steve knows it. I've been screaming for like 3 months since the fight was announced. First of all, I didn't think the fight would happen, and then I was like, Max Holloway is such a good bet. One of the easiest bets you're going to make. And I think that's still the right side. I was like 150% on it. Now I'm only like 99% because watching McGregor yesterday, I was like, man, this guy's going to get out there and throw a big left hand, and Holloway's going to be in trouble. I could just feel it. Like, I don't think there's any chance of it, but for some reason I was starting to buy into it being in front of that crowd again yesterday. So we shall see. I think Holloway, no matter what, is great value. Conor does still have power, and that's the last thing to go. I can't see how he would win this fight with Max Holloway, who's been so active, so good, fought all the top competition, and Conor McGregor has just been, doing drugs on a yacht. Like, how can you compete? But it is still Conor McGregor.
So when he charged, there's a couple things I noticed. When he charged Max Holloway, that was convenient that he had on those, whatever those glasses are. I don't know, are they just one brand, or the glasses that are recording have a little camera in them? I was like, well, that kind of seemed like a work. But the other thing that was interesting, and again, you're getting Conor McGregor like right in your face. Conor, like the drugs and allegedly, and the drinking, that's not alleged. They have taken its toll on him. Like, he does look old and weathered as compared to what he used to look like.
Yeah, I think, and he's also, this is as big as we've seen him fight, really. I mean, he's mostly fought at 45 and 55, only little at 70. Like, I can see that. I will say on the Max Holloway side, that was a promotion, so I don't think it's come out yet publicly. I guess we'll break the news here. Maybe it has. That was a promotion for Max Holloway's inclusion in a video game.
Okay.
And they're going to roll it out with like commercials or whatever. So that's what they were doing. I know that.
So it just so happened they get lucky that Conor McGregor charged him and threw the glasses.
Yeah, I mean, I think that ended up working out really well. The whole thing was like the bulletproof vest or whatever was the whole.
Oh, okay. That
was the thing, and then I think they were going to use that, probably whatever footage he captured for the promotion, and they probably got pretty lucky that Conor just threw the glasses off. So if they got him back, I hope they did.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that's what that was all about on Max's side. On Conor's side, like I said, I think he was just giving the fans like, hey, look, I'm back. You guys are going to like this. I'm going to throw his glasses. It's going to be great. Yeah, it was not contrived, but it was Conor putting on a show. I don't think he has any ill will towards Holloway. He's pretending that he does for some reason. I don't get it. I think they like each other. I think they're excited to make a lot of money on Saturday.
Adam Hill is with us. All right, before we get to some Raiders-related stuff, because I thought the podcast with Max Crosby and Fernando Mendoza the other day was really good. This weekend is 7-Eleven weekend, so we'll turn it into a celebration of convenience stores. For you, Adam, you're on the run all the time, so you must hit convenience stores. What is the greatest convenience store food ever? And, of course, when you travel the country, you've become a connoisseur of hitting other stores that we don't have here.
Yeah, Steve, you know the answer to this question already. I mean, I guess you're asking it for the public and the listeners, but you know the answer. It's literally anything at Wawa, but it's I would go like the classic Italian hoagie at Wawa is tremendous. But off the board, the smoothies that they introduced, I think last year, are unbelievable, and their coffee selection now, not the coffee like that you pour yourself, their coffee bar is unbelievable. Like their strawberry banana smoothie is game changing. Obviously the hoagie is fantastic. They did introduce tacos last year, which are not good. I hate, to say it about my Wawa people, but tacos aren't good. That's not their specialty. Go with the hoagies. I did just drive by. I didn't go in, but I was just getting gas at Circle K.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're up on this. They have Guy Fieri inspired menu items.
No. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a huge sign up on the front. I should have gone in. If I knew you wanted to talk about this, I would have run in there. But yeah, I think that's probably where you're gonna have to go to test that out.
Damn. By the way, on the odds we've been tracking all week on the fight, Max Holloway here at STN is minus 245 now. So he was 200 and 210 early in the week. He's a minus 245 favorite. The other thing I wanted you to explain, because arguably the number one invention of a convenience store, number one item of all time, is probably the Slurpee. But then you had what was that whole thing you were explaining to me the last couple of years about the difference between that and then another brand, or what is it again? The Icy
there's Frazzle.
What is it?
No, there's Icy, but there's Frazzles.
What are those?
If you can find a Frazzle, there's actually an app that you can get, Steve, that tells you the gas stations in every town that have Frazzles.
No.
It's a different Slurpee, but it's way better. There's one. I don't even know I do know the name of this. I won't give them. I already gave Circle K a plug. I won't give the other spot a plug. But there's a convenience store that is not far from the Westgate, so not far from you guys right now. It's just west of Maryland Parkway on DI. There's a little convenience store on the south side of the road that has them. So if you're over there, I don't know why you would be, unless you're.
Well, text me the name. Well, I can be over there in 10 minutes after the show today. Adam Hill is with us from the RJ from Cofield and Company. I might get a Frazzle post show here. I got to give credit to someone yesterday who told me about the Max Crosby and Mendoza podcast, and it was Brandy Flores, because I was kind of going off about Max and this quote that I saw attributed to him, and I misunderstood it, and she explained to me like that wasn't really the conversation. I watched and listened to about a good 30 minutes of the 43 minutes. I thought that was a pretty good podcast, and it was one of the first times I've seen Mendoza talk, and I was like, okay, now I get it, and why the nerd thing doesn't really apply, because look at him acting normal and sounding normal in this.
I mean, I disagree. I watched it. I thought it was pretty contrived, just like he always is, and careful. And this is the things I got to pick up. I think Max did a really good job opening up a little bit. I think you're right about that. But I do think it's still too much. It's too much thinking about what he's going to say, and too much kind of covering his tracks. If you watch I don't know if you watched the whole thing or in clips, but. And reminder, I want to go back to what you said about the Max quote being taken a little bit out of context or whatever. But there's things like, he said, Fernando said at one point, I yawned before a game and I couldn't figure it out, and then I had to go, kind of talk to my mental coach and figure out exactly what that was and embrace that and blah blah. And then Brogan Roback, Max's quarterback from college, is the co-host. He said, "Oh man, I'm sure social media had a field day." He goes, "Oh, I just want to make it clear, it wasn't really caught. It's not something I do all the time." Like, it just allow the conversation to happen. Like, don't worry about like covering your tracks in every situation, or like he's so worried about what he says and how it's going to get picked up, and that is true. But like, he just can't fully let himself go and be normal. And I think that is the next step to being comfortable. But to the point you made about being genuine and authentic, I do think people picked up the wrong quote. Like the Max quote went kind of crazy of like, hey, just be authentic, blah, whatever he was saying. The important part was what Mendoza said about what Kirk Cousins had told him, because Kirk Cousins is a guy who came in the league as a quote unquote nerd, a square, not hip at all, not cool. And Mendoza said, Kirk told me, like, if that's you, be you. Like, don't try to change because people think you should be this as a quarterback or that as a quarterback. The stuff Mendoza said was far more important than what Max said back to him. Right. And yet nobody picked up that quote. I will say I did. It's in my Kirk Cousins story that I updated my story for like the 85th time to get that quote in from Mendoza, because I thought it was very important that Kirk was like, hey, look, this is how I'm known too, but I'm just me. And as long as you're yourself, like Kirk Cousins has become Kirko Chains, and like he's been this cool character, even though he's a nerd, like it's been embraced. But if he tried to be cool, people would hate him. And I think that's what Mendoza said he kind of picked up from Cousins, of like, just don't try to be anything, just be you and you'll be fine.
You have this big story coming out on Sunday on Kirk Cousins. You actually went to Michigan and hung out with him. I don't want to spoil what's in the story. You gave a little bit of it the other day, but I wanted to build on one thing. I only have like a minute left. Mendoza on the podcast with Max Crosby was talking about Cousins, and he's legendary for having notebooks, like 20 years of notebooks. Yeah. Like, did you get kind of that sense, or did you see any of the notebooks or what he was talking about?
No, I wish I would have heard that quote before I went. I would have asked him quite a bit about it. But I will say, like, the meticulousness, and you know that I both love this and hate this, but Kirk Cousins was like, they had a game that they were playing in the camp, and nobody knew what the overtime rules were. And Cousins was like very, very intimately involved. He's like, all right, we got to do this. We got to do this. And he's like, does this rule work? What if we do this? How if we play it out like this? Like, I love that, but I also would have loved it if that was worked out earlier. That I want to go in knowing every single rule that's in play. But Cousins was like down in the depths. Like, we got to figure out the rules. We have to know what the rules are. And then he also spent a lot of time trying to figure out if they needed to switch to the size of the balls, because they have 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And he's like, I just don't think 4th graders and 6th graders. So he's like measuring kids' hands and deciding we need to get smaller balls for the 4th grader. Like, that's the details that he was paying attention to.
Adam, we appreciate it. We know you're involved in a very, very busy week. I don't know what you're doing with the SAC Summit, but I'm looking forward to a story coming out of that. That was also here in Vegas. So crazy times right now. We appreciate a couple minutes.
Yeah, and Bam and Tyler Hero fight.
That was a good tease, but we couldn't hear it. So I'm going to use that. Thank you, Adam. Man, I want to build on one of the points. The reason I thought that Mendoza came off as genuine, we'll save that. We're getting ready for hour 2. TI Vegas, Golden Circle Sports Bar, Cofield and Company. Adam mentioned something there. I mean, it looks to me like Tyler Hero was kind of bad-mouthing Bam Adebayo, and then Asia Wilson told Bam, you know what, go beat up Tyler Hero, and something happened.
Join Cofield and Company this Tuesday as he takes the show on the road for the NBA Summer League at the Thomas & Mack Center. All 32 NBA teams will be there now through the 19th. Watch up to 8 games per day. Tickets on sale now at UNLVtickets.com or call 702-739-FANS.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your
mayhem. The lights will be bright, the crowd will be loud, and the energy will be pure Vegas. Tickets start at just $30 plus fees. Get yours now at LasVegasRockers.com. Bring your friends, bring the family, and bring the noise. This Saturday night for Las Vegas Rockers football.
Hola, buenos dias, mi familia.
John, why are you talking about family in Spanish?
Because here we treat everyone like family. The family you choose, Alex, and I want you to welcome all of them properly.
All right then, say this. ¿Cómo lo puedo ayudar hoy?
¿Cómo la puedo ayudar hoy?
Now you're talking.
At Finley Toyota, we're the family you choose.
La familia que eliges.
That's how we do things here. We treat everybody right.
Hello?
This is Evil Bill from Big Bank. You owe the bank money and I'm going to collect. I'll call your house 1,000 times a day and even threaten to sue you. I'll invade your personal space by yelling at you over the radio. I'll call your family and friends to embarrass you to try and find out where you are. I'll even tell you that I'm coming to your house or office to have you arrested. None of this is legal, but I'll say and do whatever I can to make you pay. What? Oh no, it's the Panda again.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
Fed up with harassing collector calls? We can make them stop. If you have debt, collectors aren't allowed to harass you. Call Peters & Associates today to learn your options to get out of debt and make the calls stop.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
You wouldn't put your life savings into a slot machine, so why keep it at a big bank where every month can feel like a gamble? At One Nevada Credit Union, we aren't playing games with your money. You get stability, local service, and better rates. Stop pulling the lever and hoping for the best. Switch to One Nevada Credit Union. Don't gamble with big banks.
Our focus is you.
Federally insured by NCUA.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Hey Nevada, I'm Jacob Taylor, the real estate guy. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Growing up with Aaron Taylor taught me that nobody negotiates harder or gets seller's top dollar like the real estate guy. Need a cash advance? We can put money in your hands before closing to help with repairs, moving, bills, or whatever you need most. Don't want strangers walking through your home every weekend? No problem. We'll give you one simple number, your bottom line. No commissions, no hidden fees, no guessing. Just a straightforward offer, and in many cases, money in your hands in as little as 3 days. And if you're renting, ask me about My Buy Bank. You'll receive a $2,000 credit plus 10% of your monthly rent, all to use toward the purchase of your next home. Call 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. eXp Realty, license number 38886. Call for details.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
Hey Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special, only $26. Visit us at 365plummingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hanging at the Golden Circle Sportsbook and Bar inside Treasure Island. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
We'll get to more of the World Cup in the 5 o'clock hour. Updates on what's happened the last couple of days. Spain did beat Belgium 2-1 today. And then tomorrow, got a set of games, right? Starts up at 2 o'clock, Norway and England, 6 o'clock, Argentina and Switzerland. You can watch all the games here at the Golden Circle Sports Bar. 55-plus TVs, and they really do it up for the World Cup, and great crowds, vocal crowds, awesome drink and food specials, including 7-day-a-week happy hour, 10A to 6P, $5 on select draft beers. So we've hit a lot today on Cofield and Company. We just had that breaking news where there was some dust-up between Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, former Heat teammates. We'll get more updates on if there was any actual damage that was done to a Hero, because apparently he's the one who got smacked in the face or something happened to him. Let's go back about 15 minutes. Adam Hill was talking to us about his story on Kirk Cousins. Big expose. No, it's a big feature on Kirk Cousins. He went out to Michigan for a couple of days. And we piggybacked that with the fact that Fernando Mendoza just did Max Crosby's podcast. About 45 minutes with Max Crosby. And I made the statement, and Adam kind of turned me down on it, that I thought Mendoza actually had moments where he did look genuine. One that I was pointing to, and I remember about the time mark, is probably 24 minutes in, is Mendoza was talking about similarities with Kubiak and Cignetti. And he was telling a story about Cignetti in August camp, coaching him really hard. And, I mean, like really picking at him about details. Like he had made a great play in practice, and Cignetti was still like, no, this was wrong. And there was a moment where Mendoza's like, come on, man. It's like, man, I'm doing really well. What do you want? And then, like, that was the moment where I was like, okay. Like, he sounded like a player who talks to other players. Because in front of us, he's very schooled. He's very regimented. Adam pointed that out. So I just wanted to go back and hit on that one. In our conversation about the NBA Summer League, Jeff, about day one and reacting, we all want to react. We all want to see what happens when players are amongst a better crew of competition. The Summer League is good. It's not the NBA, though, so let's not go crazy. You don't want to see a guy come out and be a disaster. But I will go back in the annals of Summer Leagues. One, I remember this, the reaction after Wemby played one game in the Summer League, and there were like 70% of the reaction was soft, weak, never going to be good. Okay. Like, don't rush to judgment this early. My favorite, personally, take that I came on the air with after seeing a guy play in the Summer League, and I watched him for the first game he played, and I was like, I don't see it. Just too small. Looks frail. Not going to happen. It was Chris Paul. So
that worked.
Let's let him let him play. Like, Keaton Wagler did not look great yesterday. He's the kid from Illinois. I will also point out, I know he was selected ahead of some guys who've played a lot more basketball. The Clippers are in a position of rebuilding. Is there anyone who believes that Keaton Wagler is going to walk into the NBA and be 17 points per game right out of the gates? I thought he was more of all the guys taken in the top 10, that he was more of a project. He's very young. He's very slight. He's another one of these guys who sort of sprouted into an elite player in college when even Illinois didn't expect him to be that. So, like, at some point, all of this is going to catch up, and it's going to be developmental time again. Or did you not like him in the draft?
No, to me, the top four, it separated itself from everyone. Like, everyone knew Boozer was going 3 to Memphis. Wilson was going 4 to Chicago. It was just a matter of who's Washington taking at 1 between DP and DeBonston. Obviously, they picked AJ. All those guys from 5 to 10 in the guards, all of them are either super young or they have flaws, or they're both, right? Wagler's a little bit undersized, very frail, but unbelievable scorer, super young. Mikael Brown might end up being the best of all of them, but he missed a lot of last year with a back injury. That's always very concerning at 18, 19 years old. Acuff, we know what the critique of Acuff was. He didn't play a lick of defense at Arkansas, despite being to me, the best ball in hand guy in college basketball down the stretch in games. And then Fleming's another guy, undersized, but again, another guy who I loved, and same with Purry's. So, look, I don't react at all to this when it's a negative performance, Cofield, because there's also a little bit of a desperation factor difference when we talk about this as well. When you're a top 10 pick and you don't necessarily play great in the summer league, you're never in danger of losing minutes or getting cut. Most of these guys here are guys who are in the G League, guys who are fighting for roster spots, guys who are fighting for their NBA careers. So I don't I'm never going to overreact to a negative performance from a guy who's picked in the lottery in their first game in the summer league, especially when it's a guy like Lagler, who we know are going to play multiple games, unlike if the Bonster DP didn't play well last night, and that might be their only appearance in Vegas.
We've done a lot of basketball this week, NBA, WNBA. We talked a lot about soccer. We got a lot out of soccer. We have more soccer coming up, the games, and also the reaction to USA flopping in their final game. We know football's coming, and I love college football. And the beginning of college football talk really begins these weeks when we've got media days, football media days. It kind of re-energizes you. You see the players, you see the coaches. Next week we'll be out for a couple of days covering Mountain West Conference Football Media Day over the Palms. So we'll get a lot of the storylines, and it's a new conference, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of the coaches we haven't dealt with before. So the Big 12 got out of the gates first, and there was a lot of news coming out of it. And I'm going to go back to the well on this one again to build on the point of never overreact or make a judgment on a coach or an athlete when you really don't have a lot of evidence. The body of work, the sample is small. Which brings us to Colorado and Deion Sanders. And Deion was fine at media days. He talked about not being in the video game. It's fine. If they didn't pay him enough, okay. He says that the program is turned around. I mean, I would argue that from a money standpoint, attention standpoint, applications at the school standpoint, he's done a great job. He's done a great job. Are they going to win a lot of football games this year? I don't think so. I don't know. A lot of it's going to depend on the quarterback, Julian Lewis, who I'll get to in a second. I mean, on the odds board, and by most people making picks, and this isn't always accurate. And and of all the conferences, the Big 12 is wild. Like last year, BYU did not get respect going into the season, right? Well, they had quarterback problems, and no one knew that Bear Bachmeier would actually be good, like really good. You remember 2 years ago, Arizona State was picked 14th, 15th, 16th, and look what they did. Well, Colorado right now, according to most people, is somewhere in the 12 to 16 range in the conference. And I didn't even get a chance to put this on the rundown because I've been watching it online, and it's been grating at me, and I'm like trying to pick up information. And so there was a weird interview with Julian Lewis, their sophomore quarterback, who in a really quick snippet talked about last year versus this year and said last year they really didn't look at defenses. They were playing a lot of playground ball. Now, some people took that and ran with it, like a lot of people did. And they're like, what is going on with Deion's program? Now, I took it as, okay, well, that was what they did with his son, Shedeur. When a player says something like that, I think there's a lot of ways to react. How do you react?
Well, talk about someone who we always find a way back to, right? It's just, I'm at the point now where I would be totally okay if this is his final year there at this rate, Cofield, because it just has been, other than the year where Hunter won the Heisman and they spiked the good year because Shedeur was really good and Hunter was this unicorn that we've never seen in modern, well, since Woodson, basically. So we're talking 20 years, 25 years at that point. His teams have either been horribly put together the first year or last year where they were a massive disappointment because he didn't have the right quarterback in place. And this year, look, he should be handing the reins to Lewis. If he's not, then something's wrong because of how big time of a recruit he was. And if this is not a team that, and I don't think they're that good. I think they're probably between a 5-7 and an 8-4 team.
Over under is only 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's too low. Personally, I think that's too low. But I think they're probably looking at either being 5-7 and probably 7-5 on the best. And I know I just said 8-4, but their schedule is a little bit difficult. That's not good enough for what he was supposed to be there. It just isn't. I know it's not the easiest program to win at, but in this era, you should be able to get kids to go to Boulder. Like,
of course,
you should be able to.
There's a few things here. One, I do believe that they weren't prepared last year like they should have been.
They clearly weren't.
Two, you should have your CEO of the franchise, your quarterback, trained up enough to not say that publicly. Like, I've seen Colorado fans who are big apologists for Deion, and they're like, that's a leader. He's recognizing and calling out their short. I don't want that in public.
No.
Now, the other part of this is they're not. I'd be highly surprised if they're not prepared. Brennan Marion may not be a head coach, but he is a good offensive coordinator, and he's the OC. He was here. That kid will be prepared. Now, we'll see if they're running an offense that's too complicated for him and if he'll get it, because it worked out here at UNLV when they switched a couple of times, and the guy who came in really excelled in the offense. But if you believe it's a reflection on Deion, the CEO, and that he hasn't been paying attention to the offense, and I can go with that. But I would lean more towards, I think they're going to win 5 or 6 games at best. That doesn't mean he has to leave or he should leave, because from an attention standpoint and a money standpoint, it actually has worked out pretty well for Colorado football. We'll do a little more on the Big 12 coming up with Dustin Swedelson in about 15 minutes.
Beat the heat with some cool cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn summer rewards points for mobile wagers made until August 31st. Win or lose. You can earn even more rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in summer rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Out there in the West, they don't mess around. At Godden Ford, right off the 215 in Rainbow, they've got the ride that's built to haul, crawl, and roll. The F-150, America's #1 truck with deep feel. Want to rumble off-road? Get behind the wheel of the rugged Bronco, built for grit and guts. Right now, it's choose your summer adventure. Purchase a new Ford vehicle and you'll receive either Aviator tickets or Cowabunga Bay tickets. And a chance to win $500 towards your registration. Godden Ford, family owned and run in the West since 1922.
The Richard Harris Law Firm. No one knows Nevada like we do. Say Nevada and people think entertainment and gaming. But living here is like anywhere else. When everyday people get injured, they don't want to gamble. They call us. 444-4444.
Summer just got a whole lot more rewarding at Terrible's. During our 100 days of summer, we are dropping new deals every single day. At Terrible's, the calendar is stacked. Free products, buy one, get one offers, and 50 cents off each gallon of gas every day. What are you waiting for? The only way to find out is to download the Terrible's Plus Rewards app and earn daily rewards all summer long. 100 days of summer at Terrible's. Something new every day, everywhere. Visit Terrible's.com for details.
You wouldn't put your life savings into a slot machine, so why keep it at a big bank where every month can feel like a gamble? At One Nevada Credit Union, we aren't playing games with your money. You get stability, local service, and better rates. Stop pulling the lever and hoping for the best. Switch to One Nevada Credit Union. Don't gamble with big banks. Federally insured by NCUA.
Plumbing problems never knock. They kick down the door at the worst possible time. A burst pipe turning your kitchen into a water park? A clogged drain bubbling like a swamp monster? Don't panic. Gettle wrestles plumbing nightmares for a living. Our perfectionist plumbers handle it all with the precision of a surgeon and the enthusiasm of a game show host. From sewer line repairs to water filtration to tankless water heaters, your home sparkles like we've never even been there, except your plumbing actually works now. Gettle, Goettl, will fix your pipes, but it's hard to spell.
Gamble.
Coming back in 10.
Betty hit 4 fours, clearing her Gambler's Bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $11,000. Betty hit big and so can you with Gambler's Bonus. It's why you play the game.
Now back to Cofield and Company, live from the Golden Circle Sportsbook and Bar inside Treasure Island
on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
We're going to set you up for the sports gambling weekend in about 10 minutes with Dustin Swedelson from VSiN, 12:30 the game. Also, Matt Nevert on the baseball weekend coming up in the first half and what's going on with the Aviators and maybe a couple of UNLV points as well. But we always do our A spotlight at this time at 4:35. And I wanted to concentrate on the futures game. And also, this sounds crazy, but the A's have had so many guys come up. And then they've also had so many guys have to go back and forth to the big club in Vegas because of poor performances, injuries. There's another injury note we'll get to in the 5 o'clock hour we'll mention with the A's. But this is crazy to say. With all this hitting they've brought up that's done well, there is more on the way. And I wonder what they're going to do. Like, when do they decide that, hey, Tommy White, the kid at LSU, who was, one of those 4 picks they had in 2024, inside the top 104 picks, he's killing it. Like, he got off to a good start at AA, and now he's showing power. Last 3 weeks in AAA, he's hitting 375 with 5 homers and 21 ribs. He might be ready.
Need a spark somehow, right? I mean, this is just, and look, a lot of it has been the fault of the arms more so than the bats, as we've talked about. But I mean, this has really gotten ugly quickly. And look, we're heading to the All-Star break after this weekend. You're 11 games under 500 entering this weekend. Not that the White Sox are coming. The White Sox got clocked by the Red Sox this week. But if you want to at least feel like you're still in the race, you need to have a 5 in the game's back column in the West. You need to have a 5. So figure out a way to win 2 out of 3. But at Cofield, if they go to in the South Side, if they lose 2 out of 3 or get swept by the White Sox, I think you have to take a long, hard look at, all right, which young guys here in Vegas with the Aviators can be brought up and seasoned a little bit. Again, I don't think we'll see Leo DeVries until next year anyway.
I don't know, man.
Even though you could argue that you could bring Leo up in September if you wanted to, if you're completely out of it.
He could come up pretty soon at AAA, and we'll ask Matt Nevert if that's going to happen and kill it at AAA and force the hand.
Sure, that could also happen. But I think you're at a point now where if this doesn't get better quickly, you have to look at your roster and figure out, all right, which pieces can we move? And it's a little more complicated for this team, right, Cofield? Because the move here and a lot of your pieces that other teams would want are young guys that you should not be trading. So this is the one weird thing with this team is there's not a lot of all right, so maybe you move McNeil. Like maybe you look at moving Savali, you look at moving Jonah Heim. Like, it's not overly exciting, right? You can move Meneses, but Meneses has bounced around his whole career for a reason. So it's a tricky deadline coming up for this team if they don't get back in it, Cofield.
Yeah, I'm getting power arms. No matter what, I'm getting power arms. They can be young power arms. I need as many arms in the system as possible.
Agreed.
And see who works out down the road. You mentioned Leo DeVries, that his track is pretty interesting. He wasn't doing real well early at AA, but he's picked it up. So now, we heard about the power and speed threat and, good size for the position. So he's at 277 at AA, 10 homers, 35 ribs, 28 steals. Last 14 days, he's hitting 300. The speed is picked up. He's got 6 of those steals over the last 14 days. So, the future is bright. You could have an infield of Leo. Obviously, Wilson is tremendous. JKG. Tommy Tanks somewhere. I still think they have really good outfield prospects. Obviously, Denzel Clark has been down for a while, so maybe they get real creative. Maybe they get real aggressive and trade high on some of the prospects, and maybe that's a way to get some higher level pitching before the trade deadline. Coming up, Dustin Swedelson, as we will continue to celebrate 7-Eleven Day tomorrow, talking about the greatest convenience store food items ever.
Traffic is brought to you by Porta Subs. Stop in today or order at portasubs.com or on the app.
Starting Sunday at 9 p.m. and going through Monday at 5 a.m. northbound I-11
Lanes reduced from Decatur to Jones Boulevard. I-11 southbound. Lanes reduced between Torrey Pines and Decatur.
Traffic is brought to you by Port of Subs. Stop in today or order at portofsubs.com or on the app.
Got a reason to gather? Port of Subs has the perfect spread. From 6-foot subs to party trays loaded with premium meats, cheeses, sides of chips and mac salad, and even desserts. We've got all of life's milestones covered. Order now at portofsubs.com and feed the whole crew.
Beat the heat with some cool cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn summer rewards points for mobile wagers made until August 31st. Win or lose, you can earn even more rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in summer rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Attorney Matt Hoffman with Battleborn Injury Lawyers. Thanks to platforms like Uber, DoorDash, and Amazon Flex, any car on the road could be an app delivery driver. They're just regular cars with no markings, no logos. And when an app driver causes an accident, their account might get suspended, meaning no income. So they won't admit they were making a delivery, which could leave you fighting over thousands of dollars instead of millions. At Battleborn, we know how to find out if a driver was working as an app delivery driver. If you've been in a crash with any driver, call us at 766-1400.
It's JT for Findlay Volvo Las Vegas. What deals they have? How about the 2026 Volvo XC90 B5, only $599 per month? That's for a 36-month lease. That gets you 7,500 miles per year and only $5,059 due at the lease signing. The MSRP is $62,445. They have the deals you're looking for and the vehicle safe. Findlay Volvo, Las Vegas.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Our front paws, hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On June 14th, Betty hit 4 fours, clearing her Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $11,000. Betty hit big, and so can you with Gambler's bonus. It's why you play the game.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Would you like to become an educated sports fan that also knows how to place a bet? How about a library of how games are played, how to make bets, and hot picks of the day? Join me at BetMoneyHoney.com.
NBA Summer League returns to the Thomas & Mack Center July 9th to the 19th, featuring all 30 teams and up to 8 games per day.
Coming back in 15. Dustin's good to go.
739 fans.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Aviators host the Tacoma Rainiers at the Las Vegas Ballpark. The Las Vegas Aces are back in town. They'll host the Mercury tomorrow and the Fever on Sunday. And on Sunday, the Nighthawks host the San Diego Strike Force.
It's Cofield and Company, live from the Golden Circle Sportsbook and Bar inside Treasure Island on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Boy, oh boy, I was just looking at this graphic our vast graphic department just put together for convenience store day tomorrow, 7-Eleven day tomorrow, about the greatest convenience store items of all time. And I don't think I can ever shave again. Look at how fat my face is. I think I've lost a little bit.
No, you've definitely lost it.
But I also think sometimes when your face gets that fat and you lose weight, you might have the turkey neck. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
I mean, you're definitely
my face is
much
fat.
lighter than that photo.
Big fella.
You got a good hat though. You got a good hat. I mean, the pump cheese is doing its duty. I mean, you're doing
nacho pump cheese. All right, let's bring in. He's a svelte guy, but has a big fella heart. Dustin Swedelson is here with us from 12:30. the VSiN in the game. Dustin, well, it's not yet, but happy 7-Eleven day to you.
You too, Steve. Steve, you got to play the angles better. That's what I learned from the Insta thoughts. It's not necessarily how you look at certain sides. It's all about that straight on. And as long as you get caught at the wrong angle, you're going to look a little bit more bloated.
Dude, that was a low angle selfie. It wasn't good. And I was like, I'm not good at taking selfies. So I was probably looking down at the phone. So I was scrunched. The phone, it was terrible. There's a lot to choose from because convenience stores, it is one of the great American things that we have. Convenience stores over the years really have reinvented the menu for all of us. What are some of your favorite items from convenience stores over the years?
Yeah, a quick qualification. Are we keeping this to items that they produce and make themselves or just anything that's available at a convenience store?
Dude, I think it's anything that's available. So if you're like a chipaholic and you had some favorite chips, I mean, whatever you like.
Okay, a few things that jump out, and we're going to get lengthy here. I'll figure out which one's my favorite by the time I get through this, but I lived in the South for a long time, and there were points during road trips where I'd pull up to a convenience store, and they'd have pickled eggs. I never actually ate the pickled eggs. The thought of a pickled egg makes me want to gag right now, but like that's where we're at. Depending on where you are in the country, there's something may jump out that is unique to your area. Like in the South as well, boiled peanuts. That was a huge thing. I really haven't seen them anywhere else. Specifically for me, I love the Cajun variety. I'm also a big sunflower seed person. I will always go to the convenience store, grab my sunflower seeds, especially for a road trip. 7-Eleven specifically has a great buffalo chicken dip potato chip. It's just a chip, but it tastes like buffalo chicken dip, and it's a 10 out of 10. Sour gummy worms are high on my list, chicken taquitos, and then hot dogs. I'm not afraid to eat the hot dog off the roller. I think people overestimate it's sitting there all day what it does, that hot dog.
Oh,
that thing's already full of cancer. It doesn't matter. You're already going to get all the bad stuff inside of you. It doesn't matter that it's been out all day, exposed to whatever. It'll outlast all of us in a nuclear war.
Can I tell you, I have a couple that we're friends with, and I'm so jealous of the relationship. The wife bought the husband probably the greatest thing I've ever seen. She actually bought him one of the hot dog rollers for home.
Yo.
Wow.
Dude, we went over last week to hang at their pool. I walk in, there's dogs, there's taquitos, there's sausages, just rolling, just all day, just ready to go. I'm like, this is heaven. You guys are rich.
I need a price tag on that. I need details. That's kind of like I have a friend up in the Northeast, saw a deli was going out of business, so he bought one of the deli slicers from them.
Yep. I'm so jealous. I had some cheapy slicers. That was actually a big part of the show about 5 years ago, but all my slicers broke down. I'm like, I got to really invest in one. And the cheapest decent one you can get is probably like $600 or $700. But if you get one used, that's a great thing at home. Slice your own meat, slice your own bread. It's heaven.
Yeah, well, just pretty soon we won't be able to fit your face into the frame of the picture you're trying to post.
By the way, Dustin, there is a wide range of pricing for the hot dog roller. It is as low as $79.99.
Oh, wow.
And that's concerning.
And yes, it is concerning. I agree with you. And it is as high for the they have the restaurant quality one, which is $6,200, but it looks like you could fit
a little much,
roughly 100 hot dogs on there.
I don't know what you're getting into if you need that one.
Yeah, so
I feel like you got to re-examine your life and your priorities.
Yeah, the good one looks like it's about $190.
All right,
so
that's not horrible.
Not bad. Might actually be somewhat worth it. But Dustin, I have to piggyback on something you put on social media last week. And you got clobbered for it by some. And I was 100% with you. The best topping on a hot dog is?
Coleslaw. It's not even a debate. Like, I don't understand the fight against this. One, coleslaw to me, and this may be the fattest thing that's said in these 5 minutes we've been together here, and we've said some fat stuff. Coleslaw to me is not a side. It is a topping. It is a condiment. And as long as you put it on a hot dog where you have the hot beef, pork, whatever you want with the seasoning in the hot dog, combined with the cold, creamy, crunchy coleslaw on the bun, It's essentially like a poor man's Reuben sandwich, kind of, with the cabbage playing with the meat on the bun. I love a slaw dog. I think it is the best way to consume it. I think people definitely overrate certain. Like, I think chili is highly overrated on a hot dog. It's just like overkill of the same thing over and over again. To me, I want a little balance. I want a little bit of mix in what I'm getting in terms of the bite. That's why I'd either go coleslaw, like I said, number one, and my number two, mustard, ketchup, relish, and onion.
Okay. I'm with Dustin.
I was going to let you jump in on the ketchup.
I'm 100%. Well, you know what? The ketchup thing, as long as we're not in Chicago, who cares? You can do whatever you want with it.
Sure, hot dog.
But I'm with Dustin 100% on coleslaw. And there was a place in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, that I would go to that did not quite the Ripper hot dogs that you see from the famous place in Clifton, New Jersey, but pretty darn close. I'd always get a slaw dog, and I would get a cheese dog. That would be the two things I would get. And Dustin, I would get my chili on top of the fries. That's what I would do.
Cheese dog also, that's a well done move. It's got to be the liquid cheese though. I don't need slices melted on. I want pure like lava cheese on top of that thing.
100%. That's the only way to do it.
Now on VSiN, we love the program in there, but sometimes you're not allowed to have fun. So let's get back to the gambling stuff now. Big 12. I'm kidding. You guys can have fun. You guys have a lot of fun. Big 12 football media days. Give me what you guys are talking about on your show and where you are on the top of the league, because I guess the coaches had BYU as the winner. I don't know if that was a way to stick at the Texas Tech, but what do you think of the conference?
Yeah, I actually agree with the coaches. I don't know if there's an agenda involved there. It might be, but if someone's got to explain this one to me. Texas Tech is minus 110 at one shop to win the league. They're around even money at a couple other places. And I like Joey McGuire, but Sorsby's gone. Will Hammond tore his ACL in October. We don't know when he returns. That means they're going to rely on a Tulsa transfer, Kirk Francis, to be their quarterback potentially here. They've got running back. They've got a couple of skill guys back. But they had the best defense in their history a year ago. They lost David Bailey. They lost a bunch of other pieces. I'm not so sure why people think that this team's just automatically going to be the best in the Big 12 because they hit the portal hard again. I think BYU's worth a look. You got Bachmeier returning at quarterback. He's a dual threat. He's a monster. He's got a little Tebow in him with the way he likes the physicality. Sataki turned down Penn State to stay there because he knows the resources he has are off the charts. L.J. Martin ran for 1,300 yards last year. And I still think that this team has a very hard-nosed approach that you're used to seeing out of BYU. I love them. And if I'm going to look deeper down the board, guys, I like Houston a lot this year. They're 12-1 to win the league. I saw them 16-1 at DraftKings. But Willie Fritz is an old man, but that old man wins everywhere he goes. Third season, 10-3 a year ago. Wegman returns. He's going to be the starter 2 consecutive seasons after already starting at A&M in the past. Mekhi Hughes comes over from Oregon, where he didn't play after being awesome at Tulane 2 years ago. And they know how to use their tight ends. They grabbed a kid out of the portal from UTSA who's going to be really productive. I think they have some holes to fill on defense, but I think there's no reason with the coaching and all the returning weapons at Houston why Willie Fritz and company can't be in the mix to win the Big 12.
Dustin, give me your favorite overall college football future.
Oh, I'm not that deep into them just yet. I have not really – I dove into the Big 12 because of the media days this week. I think Georgia's in for something. You're getting company, and they've got plenty of dudes coming back. That's one team doing my research. And I think that Clemson might be a little underrated. Maybe not to win the league, maybe not to make the playoff, but I don't think it's crazy for either to happen. But I think the win total might be the way to attack Clemson. They return a lot of skill, and in this portal era where everyone's succeeding, mixing these guys in right away, it feels like at some point it comes back the other way, and that becomes harder to do with so much movement now. Clemson's continuity might become an advantage this year.
Dustin, how are you handling the 2 World Cup games tomorrow? England and Norway and Argentina and Switzerland.
Well, look, Argentina, they feel like a bit of a darling because they went from 10-1. They've gone on this run now. Everyone loves Messi. When they turn to him, he can come through. So I don't know what you do with Argentina other than maybe messing with the team total over against a Switzerland team that doesn't have the ponies for the race. That's one way I'd look at that one. Norway and England, I got to tell you, I don't know if I'm very impressed by England, but they'll probably win it because they're so much deeper than Norway. And as good as Holland is, the one thing I'm noticing as a soccer novice here is that he doesn't really contribute in all aspects of the game. He's really just kind of a goal scorer. He's like the Carmelo Anthony of soccer, right? Is that a fair assessment? He doesn't really help with defense. He doesn't help with the ball movement, but you need him to punch it in. He's going to punch it in. So I think England is going to advance there. I would do something with England, maybe even lay a goal and a half just because they have more weapons.
Dustin Swedelson with Cofield and Company, ESPN Las Vegas, ESPN Reno. All right, little baseball first half review. First of all, how'd you do betting day-to-day on baseball? You changed your philosophy. What are you looking at for the second half?
Well, the first 2 months were horrible, and then it got really good for a while, and then the last 2-3 weeks have been really horrible. So it just keeps going back and forth. I think the props are still the best way to attack it, but, God, you could have some really chaotic nights because these numbers don't – there's only so many strikeouts that you could set the number at for some of these pitchers. The futures market's going well. That's where I'm always looking, and I think people underestimate what a team can do once they get hot. For example, I took the Tigers like 2.5 weeks ago to win the AL Central. They were 7-1. They didn't do well immediately after. They ballooned up to 14-1. Now they're 4-1 to win the Central. We could be living in a world, boys, where they keep Tarek Skubal, and all of a sudden they go on a run. And if Skubal's there and still in Detroit with the way their lineup is mashing over the last month and a half, I mean, that team can win a wide-open American League. So I think going forward, big picture with baseball, you have to remember that the trade deadline's coming up. And after that, there's going to be some depleted teams that sell their best players. And with that, you have to figure out how that impacts the sides and the totals in these games. Some teams might lose all of their bullpen pieces, and that could really hurt them. You might want to attack the overs in that regard.
Dustin, just 20 seconds left, but I want you to hit what you guys have with the VSiN NFL betting guide.
NFL betting guide is out right now. I have 2 write-ups in there. I made a case for Brock Purdy MVP, and I have a lot of clips out there of me trashing Brock Purdy as a quarterback. But we got previews of every team, betting trends, awards markets, and picks from everyone at VSiN. It's an awesome guide. You need it to get ready for the season.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too, boys. See ya.
After that, he better hit a convenience store. Actually, everyone listening better hit a convenience store tonight or tomorrow. Because I'm getting hungry. I might do it tonight and tomorrow. I'm all about it. So we celebrate the greatness of the convenience store in this country.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and built for the pros.
Vegas, are you ready? Your Las Vegas Rockers are storming back into the Orleans Arena this Saturday night for a showdown that you will not want to miss. Watch the Rockers battle the Utah Great Eights in a night of hard hits, high-flying touchdowns, and non-stop arena football mayhem. The lights will be bright, the crowd will be loud, and the energy will be pure Vegas. Tickets start at just $30 plus fees. Get yours now at LasVegasRockers.com. Bring your friends, bring the family, and bring the noise. This Saturday night for Las Vegas Rockers football.
Terribles Gaming is turning your play into a summer payday during 100 Days of Summer. May 1st through August 8th, Terribles Gaming is paying out 5 winners of $500 in free play every single day. And every Friday, one lucky winner will be awarded an all-expense-paid dream vacation. Play for your chance to win at any Terribles, Terribles Market, Albertsons, or Vaughn's near you. Terribles Gaming, the most convenient way to play, and now vacay. Visit Terribles.com for details. Must be 21 years or older with a valid Terribles Gaming player's card.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. A lot of lawyers promise a lot of things. No fee unless we win. The consults are free. Of course they offer that stuff. All lawyers do that. But will they promise not to take more money than you at the end of your case? No. When you call me, that answer's yes. I'll never take more money than you, and I put it in writing.
Call 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com.
I really can help.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
What did they just say?
You don't have to yell at us. Nobody is on the other side of this issue.
Hit us up on the Bay Law text line.
Coming back in 15.
Or 1100 Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is not an accident. Listen to UNLV Sports right here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas. Live from the Golden Circle Sports Bar inside the Treasure Island, you're listening to ESPN Las Vegas.
Here we go, 5 o'clock hour. Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Jeff Parles, Cofield, Angels helping us out with the set at the Golden Circle Sports Bar. We are watching NBA Summer League. We are watching the Friday night baseball slate unfold. We are now watching a replay of interviews on the Tigers-Phillies game because I think they just went to a delay, and it looked like it might be a long delay. I always forget, since I've been here for the better part of 30 years. I think my 30th year here is coming up. No, I know it is. August 26th of 96 is when I got here. But you become so accustomed to it never raining that you forget where, if you're not from here, where you came from, if it rains, like what that's like. There's just a torrential downpour. We never get rain. Hardly ever.
It's part of the good thing of living here, Cofield.
That's one of the reasons I live here. Although I will say that when we do get rain, it is nice.
Yeah.
I don't want it all the time. And God love Portland and the Pacific Northwest and Seattle. I would never want to be in that all the time where it's potentially rainy every day. I didn't mind Florida. I grew up in Florida for a little bit because you get like quick bursts. But yeah, rain day after day. Not my cup of tea, but yeah, it just blew up. Now that was it. They're already back. It took like 5 minutes and now they're back in action. 2-2 game, Phillies and the Tigers.
Tigers orange jerseys are very Baltimore Oriole-esque. Look the exact same.
By the way, we're just going to ignore the Phillies and how they've been playing of late. We're just going to ignore that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're not going to talk about.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, look,
what a bet.
Here,
doesn't mean it's going to come through, but what a bet.
Here's what I'll tell you though, and I said it to you immediately afterwards, because I see you said you're taking the Phillies and the Mets. And I said, as soon as we shook on it, about 2 minutes afterwards, you should have taken the Marlins instead of the Mets. And the Marlins are tied with Philly, 3 behind Atlanta in the East.
Now, can you imagine if I don't win the bet because of the Marlins?
That would be very funny if that happened.
It was about 30 games into the season, maybe 34 games.
40-ish, yeah.
Was it 40? Okay. Yeah. And I think the Phillies, the Braves had opened up like a 13.5 game lead. And you're like, it's over.
12, yeah.
It's over. And I said, you know what? I'll take my chance on the Phillies and the Mets. You're like, oh, no way. So you gave me the Phillies and Mets, either one of them to win the division at 3-1, right? 3-1?
Yeah.
3-1. And, well, the Phillies have been hot. They clearly made the right move. I guess. But whatever. Mattingly's done a good job there. Their pitching's come together. And the Braves, as I thought, would start to get whittled away at by injuries. And they've had a lot of injuries. So it's a great division, at least at the top. And the Marlins are one of the best stories in baseball.
Are they?
Can they continue it? Is that what you're saying? Or what, we shouldn't be happy for them?
I think that's a franchise that still annoys me.
Well, I don't think you were on when we were talking about – there's a really quick point. I saw this weird thing last week where the GM of the Marlins, some dude named Pete Bendix,
okay,
who's he's a nerd, and he looks the nerd, and he went to Tufts, sabermetrics guy. He worked with the Rays for 14 years, and now he's working with the Marlins. And someone put out, imagine this guy is speaking to your manager. The point was, you've got a nerdy-looking guy telling, baseball traditionalists, hey, this is the way we're going to build a roster. It's going to use a lot of analytics. Now, what that turned into was the idiots on social media were like, he sounds gay. Like what? It turned into this whole referendum on what baseball people should look like. And it's you're all dorks, most of you who are anonymously posting on social media. The guy clearly knows what he's doing. The Marlins have rolled out a pretty good baseball team here.
They've rolled out a good
They've drafted well.
They've rolled out a good team with their ownership putting nothing towards it.
But have the Rays put a lot towards what they do?
That doesn't mean you're, again, the whole.
You're right. If you want to root against them, that's cool.
The whole thing with the CBA nonsense is because of ownerships that do not care about putting putting any money in. Well, the private equity thing is the perfect example of this. It's just the bottom line. And look, I credit the Marlins, the people who are putting the roster together. I credit them. They're 52-42. They were awesome in the second half last year. Credit to that front office, credit to that coaching staff, credit to the players. Job well done. Doesn't mean I have to respect the ownership of that team, and I don't.
Let's bring in our baseball expert on Fridays, voice of baseball in Las Vegas, voice of UNLV sports as well, with Parles, with Cofield. It's Matt Neverett. What's up, Matt?
Fellas, what's going on over here at Las Vegas Ballpark tonight? We got big fireworks night, soccer jersey giveaway tomorrow. It should be a packed house all weekend long.
Jump into our conversation. Do you hate the Marlins?
Do I hate the Marlins? No. Am I surprised at their success over the last month? Absolutely, just like everybody else.
Well, sort of like all the Cardinals prospect hitters all came together at once. The Marlins prospect pitchers, and Alcantara is more than a prospect, but like their pitchers finally got healthy and came together.
And there's something to be said for that. I mean, there's a thing around baseball where there's certain teams that care a lot more than others about winning at the minor league level. You see teams like the Rays and the Yankees, for instance, kind of dominate throughout the system. And I think we're seeing some of the smaller market teams and the smaller budget teams take notice of that, where you can get these guys, believing in the power of friendship, so to speak, as they come up through the system. I mean, there's something to be said for that, because we're seeing a lot of these guys have success come up. We saw the A's have the young core offensively, at least, that kind of came up together. And, yeah, for the Marlins, it's just been great timing with a lot of these pitching prospects all at the same time, like you had mentioned.
Well, let's get to the A's, and then we'll talk about baseball in general as we approach the All-Star break. Joey Meneses, to me, is a really interesting guy. I went off on Joey last week because he had a game where they put him in the outfield with the A's, and he made a couple of bad plays. And everyone that night was terrible, and they got blown off the field. His story is interesting, and it kind of builds towards what the A's are going to do here at the break. But first of all, talk about Meneses, because we've had like 3 weeks now, Matt, where it seems like everyone on the A's has to go on the 10-day IL, and then they come back, and then they're back on it. So first of all, Meneses and the kind of story he's been with Vegas.
Yeah, really cool story. Guy that signed as a minor league free agent this past offseason. He had played in the minor leagues for 10 years before he made his major league debut a couple seasons ago. So, he's what we in the biz call a grinder, guy that really, really earned it, and a guy that is as powerful a bat as there is in minor league baseball. Now, he leads the Pacific Coast League in batting average as it currently stands. He leads minor league baseball and runs batted in. So he's a guy that's absolutely earned the shot that he's been given at the major league level. But to your point about the IL trips, how about Zach Geloff? He had the hand injury on a cut finger on a slide into second base. This one being described as a knee laceration. Talk about bad luck. And it was interesting. Our lineup came out the other day in the game that he got hurt. Joey Meneses was a late scratch. That was yesterday. Joey Meneses was in the lineup here in Vegas yesterday, but a late scratch. And I'm honestly surprised that Max Muncy didn't just get the call to turn around and go back to Sacramento. Muncy on the way here, not expected to play tonight in Vegas, but you get 72 hours to report once you've been optioned. He'll be here tomorrow. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just turn Muncy back around and send him back up there, but it means that Meneses is getting another well-deserved shot.
Okay, every week we go round and round, especially the last month or so, about what the A's are going to do here at the trade deadline. But the recent ways of the last couple of weeks, end of June, beginning of July, they're just kind of falling apart. So if you're the A's front office, what do? You buy, you sell, you stand pat?
I mean, it's a different conversation than we had. I think I was on the show last 2 weeks ago. It's a completely different conversation now, because you look at recent form. They've lost 6 in a row and 9 of their last 10. And here come the Angels all of a sudden. The Angels are terrible. And the A's only have a couple of game lead on them right now for last place in the AL West. So it's a completely different conversation that we're having now. I don't think that they should sell. I don't think that they should really buy that much either, because what are you buying for? The AL West is wide open, and if they can go on a run here over the next couple of weeks, I'll eat my words. But as it currently stands, don't forget the A's have the worst run differential in Major League Baseball as well. So they are completely falling off. A lot of it can be accredited to the pitching. I mean, you're going to get your offense in Sacramento one way or another. They've got a great young offensive core. Maybe you bolster that with a body that's got a multi-year deal. You can have a little bit of club control for such a cheap price. But I just, outside of improving the pitching and especially the bullpen, I don't know how much they're going to help themselves out by, being a big-time buyer at the trade deadline.
Well, and Matt, this is the complicated thing with this whole thing. A lot of the pieces that teams that are truly in the race will want are pieces that the A's will never move. It's the young guys. So, like, you have Savali, who makes sense to be moved if that's the route you go. You have Jeff McNeil that makes sense. You have Jonah Heim that makes sense. But they're just that's kind of the catch-22 with this whole thing. Like, all right, even if they fall completely out of it, there aren't that many pieces that make sense to be dealt because of the youth and the guys who you want to be on the team when they come here in 2 years.
Yeah, and out of those names you mentioned, Jonah Heim is a guy that I would absolutely be willing to listen to offers on. Nothing against him one way or another, but he was a guy they picked up off the scrap heap earlier this year, and they've got a trio of catchers here in Vegas that could go up and be a serviceable backup to Shea Langoliers, who is, oh yeah, by the way, one of the most durable catchers in Major League Baseball right now. You don't really need too much value out of a backup catcher, and I think they've got a couple of guys with just as much pop as Jonah Heim at this level, and it's just a weird situation for them because, like you mentioned, a lot of the guys that probably in a different situation would be moved are going to be untouchable. And I think if it were a different setup where the A's were not coming to Vegas in 2028, they'd be a little bit more willing to listen and potentially, blow up that young core. But they've kind of made like an informal promise to the new fans that this is going to be an exciting young offense and a very young core that we're going to try to keep together. I think if you go into this deadline and get rid of a lot of those guys, it sends a horrible message to the new fans that you're trying to get in Vegas really desperately. They've been doing everything they can to try to drum up support.
Yeah, I just don't see it. Matt, just looking at the American League as a whole, the Rays are 54-37. The Yankees are 51-42. Everyone else is either 2 games above 500 or worse at this point. Are we looking at like 2 or 3 and heck, maybe even 4 teams that make the playoffs with 85 or less wins at this point? Or am I overreacting?
No, I don't think it's necessarily an overreaction, and it's one of those things where you just assume because of the more standardized schedule, because everything's pretty even, that between AL and NL you'd have about an even number of wins, but that just simply has not been the case this year. The National League has dominated in the interleague setup, and some of the American League teams that were supposed to really take that next step just haven't. And I'm looking at a couple of young teams in that American League Central. I thought both the Royals and the Guardians were going to be a little bit better this year. The Rays, what do you know? Another great season in the regular season, but when is that success going to turn into in the playoffs? I think the American League, we're going to see a ton of teams making a lot of moves at the deadline. I think Seattle's going to be one of those teams that's pretty active. I think Houston's going to do whatever they can to bolster themselves because they've got the front runner for American League MVP in Yordan Alvarez. They're on and off with the best offense in Major League Baseball in terms of runs scored by the week, and I think that's a team that can really, really run away with their division with the right move or two.
And it just, you just brought it up. The difference between the two leagues is as simple as the NL has been. I mean, this is basically the best the NL's ever been in the interleague era against the American League. And you look at just what the 6 playoff teams currently are in the NL. I mean, Matt, the Braves, the Brewers, and the Dodgers are all legitimately, to me, the 3 best teams in baseball. And then the Cubs, the Phillies, and the Marlins are all 10 games over 500. It's not even a comp this year between these two leagues, Matt.
No, absolutely. And again, like you assume everything would be more even because of the way that the schedule is done. But the NL is just taking care of business. And I mean, you look at the Dodgers and you look at the Braves. Those are the 2 best rosters in baseball, if you ask me, especially if everybody's healthy. But then you got a team like the Brewers, who I think have overachieved a bit. They've really turned into the new Rays in terms of developing pitching talent. Obviously, the Marlins have overperformed. Talk about Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies, though, and then the job that they've done in making the move from Rob Thompson to Don Mattingly without a hesitation and how that's paid off. I think that's going to be one of the big storylines when all's said and done looking back on this year.
Matt Neverett up on Cofield and Company. Matt, we are celebrating the 7-Eleven holiday tomorrow by talking about the best convenience store food items ever. I think you're a convenience store guy on a somewhat regular basis. Am I inaccurate? I'm for me over the years I've cut down on it because I was also going to die if I kept eating all of the foods from convenience stores. And there's no knock against them, but they get you a little puffy. We've all had our moments where we've been puffy in the years. Over the years, what is your favorite item of all time, or some favorite items of all time?
Oh man, I mean, my go-to. I'm a big Cliff Bar guy, so like a sugar-free Red Bull and a chocolate chip Cliff Bar is like usually what I'm going to get. If I'm feeling frisky, I love my like gummy snacks. I like gummy Lifesavers and gummy bears and worms and stuff. That'll always keep me busy for an hour or so. I would say those are my go-to, and I'm a big Red Bull guy, so I'm always kind of in and out of gas stations. I've been partial to Circle K recently just because it's near my house, but I have an untold number of 7-Eleven points. Whenever I put them in at the register, I always kind of get like a weird look or with the cashier going, you got to use these at some point. One day I will go in and clear them out. I got like six digits of 7-Eleven points saved up from over the years.
Brother, we're on the road together all the time. What's going on here?
Let's do it. You just got to remind me. I have the app. I just never use it.
Well, I will say, and this is not to say like Matt's an alcoholic. One of the things I like that Matt does, and this is more of me at convenience stores now, you are a fan sometimes on the road if you need to take the edge off of, you'll grab a tall boy. You'll look at the selection. I'll tell you what, because I never really was a big fan of those drinks, and now there's so many sugary alcoholic drinks and so many, like I never did Four Locos. But I know. But I will stand there and look, and I'm like, what in God's name is some of this stuff? I'm fascinated by it.
Now, I'm not into anything too crazy. Yeah, like I'll get a beer at the end of the night, or just something to sip on while we're back at the hotel room on the road. Yeah, I was never really a Four Loko guy, although that was a big deal when I was in college. The original Four Loko that had the caffeine plus the booze in it. So I'm glad I was not maybe a little bit older when that was an even bigger deal among college age kids.
I'm a fan of micheladas in the can, but disappointingly they've actually cut down on some of the selection. So just something to look for on the road.
I know
maybe you're 7-Eleven
michelada connoisseur.
You right? You see me on the road. Maybe those 7-Eleven points can get me at least one tall boy on the road at some point.
I think I can swing that. Anything for you, Steve.
Should we finish on a happy note? Because I was pretty happy. I do want to mention one of the stories of the week that I think went under the radar, and I just wanted to get your take on this. Did you see the news that now 7 umpires in Major League Baseball have said they're going to accept the buyout and retire at the end of 2026? What does this say about the state? What does it say about ABS, the impact, and what the state of umping was going into the season?
Well, you said that that's not necessarily happy news. I think for me it's happy because it gets CB Buckner out of the game. Statistically, he's been the worst umpire since Angel Hernandez by calls overturned. I think it is some of the old guard who just doesn't want to deal with it. We kind of saw a similar exodus among college basketball coaches, and same with college football coaches with the NIL era being ushered in. And, like a Nick Saban, I just don't want to deal with that. I could very much see that some of these umpires are annoyed at some of the extra stuff that they have to do with ABS. And I think for a lot of these old school guys that, goes against the sanctity of the game, it's also the first time in a long time that the umpires union has made concessions and has looked, like there's maybe a crack in the ironclad armor that protected them for so long. So, I mean, I'm all for it. We've seen year in and year out since the ABS has been introduced in both the minor and the major leagues that the younger umpires statistically call a better strike zone. So much like the Hall of Fame voters in baseball, I think it'll be a better game when the older umpires are out as well.
Well, I think many of them needed to be reined in. I will say I do see way too often, at least 3 or 4 videos a week of a pitch comes in, the call is made, the hitter challenges it immediately, and the ump's like, nope, not fast enough. Like, what do you mean not fast enough? Just follow the rules and make the review. Why are we still fighting it?
There's an attitude, and it's more so than in any other sport than baseball. I mean, they want to be right. They've been, like I said, they've been protected by their union for so long, or they've been told that they were untouchable. Now, all of a sudden, there's a bit of a crack in the armor, and they're opening themselves up to a little bit of criticism. And some of these old guard don't like it. CB Buckner, good riddance.
Yep, you're right. It probably is hard to get used to because they were untouchable in the past. Remind people again of what's going on tonight with Fireworks Night and the giveaways coming up.
Yeah, every Friday home game at Las Vegas Ballpark. Fletcher Jones Nevada sponsors our post-game fireworks show. Tomorrow with the World Cup going on, PRS is sponsoring an Aviators soccer jersey giveaway. A little bit of back-and-forth promo with the Las Vegas Lights as well on that one at aviatorslv.com to check that out. Get your tickets and to take a look at the soccer jersey. I'm going to be a big fan. I'll probably wear it calling the game. I'm going to have to steal one for you, too.
There you go. Steal away. All right, Matt, we appreciate it. Have fun tonight and this weekend. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Anytime, guys. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, as I get older, I get less tolerant of things. And it's not like I want to fight on everything, but there's a lot of times I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Have you seen some of these cases where?
Well, there's the one with Dominguez? With Dominguez earlier this week.
Like he signaled immediately.
And it was not the.
I mean, then the ump, you know what it was? The ump looked away for a second and didn't see it. And then he patted again and he's like, no, too late. Listen, Dominguez is not going to do this. I swear to God, if I were a veteran player, a hitter, especially if we had a lead, and I challenged and the ump was like, nope, not fast enough, I would just be like, all right, call me out. I just walk back. I'm like, what are we doing? The rule's here for a reason. Do your job. And it reminds me of, calm down. It reminds me of, we're supposed to get excited in sports talk radio. I'm going to give myself a heart attack. No, I get frustrated, like, because you have these guys in a position of power. Just do your job, okay? You're not supposed to be the game. I still think one of the more ridiculous cases ever, and I would love them to try it again and then just go, you're fired if you do it again. I thought the NFL trying to review PIs was a great idea, but because they didn't have real enforcement in place and they left it up to the officials basically stuck it to the league and wouldn't overturn anything in that. I don't know. I believe PI, is it a 50-50 call? Probably not. But Jeff, if you remember, there were hundreds of PIs reviewed. They overturned like 9.
Like 8 of them. Yeah.
It felt like they overturned like less than 15%. That is hogwash. And it basically was, and folks, when I mean, anyone who's listening to me, you know, I'm a pro-union guy, I'm pro-labor guy, you know, I'd fight the power, all that. But like, if there's a rule in place, you can't just ignore the rule. And that thing went bye-bye because the NFL's like, well, they're not going to cooperate. What can we do? You know, what can we do? Fire them or have some kind of threat. You're suspended.
Yeah, I mean, that was 1 year. It was useless. You know, be interesting because remember we talked about the labor fight with the NFL and the NFLRA that, of course, is now figured out. So the regular refs will be there. I am curious to see what that actually had in that agreement of can you actually overturn obvious face mask mistakes that they missed a bunch last year. But by the way, the thing with the umpires that took the buyout, it's a combination of, to me, the 7 oldest and the 7 worst.
Yep.
It's a combination of both of those.
I think they were tired of being embarrassed.
Yeah.
And you can see, I mean, it's demoralizing.
Yeah.
And listen, it would suck. I mean, do we have I guess if our ratings were 0.0, which they probably are, but it would suck as technology. I mean, I guess we're all going to face this. It would suck as technology comes along, something new comes along, and the way you're graded at your job is very cut and dry, and you're like, holy crap, I am not good at this. Like, it's got to be frustrating.
Yeah.
Or you could look at it like, hey, I like my job. Maybe I need to use this as a tool. It's saving my ass instead of looking at it as a personal thing that's embarrassing you. But there are some who are terrible. And when you see it in the game when there's 13 reviews for a particular home plate umpire and like 11 are overturned, it's pathetic. But I love what's going on now. And you know what? They do it quickly. I think the system's great. Is there anything you've seen where you're like, this sucks?
No, the only argument is that it's too exact, which I think is a nonsense argument.
Well, the pitchers hate. The pitchers hate it because the pitchers. Listen, this is another part of this. Do I tie in Caitlin Clark? This is a rant I did last week. I'll repeat it one more time. When people mention, and I understand there's a whole group of Caitlin Clark people who are unrealistic and jackasses, but when people mention Caitlin Clark as one of the biggest name players in the league who's drawing a lot of eyes to TVs, and she is putting up good numbers this year, she should get special treatment from the officials. And I back that up by saying that's the history of basketball. I don't know if you were paying attention when Jordan, or I always bring up Wilt, or the biggest stars have always gotten a little bit of extra favor. In the NFL, there's no doubt in my mind that the top quarterbacks, especially now, I mean, this year, if you want to go in and do anything short of break Geno Smith's neck, you're allowed to do it. This year, if you look at Patrick Mahomes' repaired knee, you're getting ejected. That's the way it's been. And with Major League Baseball pitchers, a lot of them are having trouble with it now because as you get into baseball, veteran status, we've seen it. We've seen it in the biggest moments in World Series and the playoffs. We're like, what are they doing? Tom Glavine, that's not a strike, but they loved Tom Glavine at the time. Where it
was all those Braves guys.
Dude, I saw a great story the other day, and I really wish it had resulted in a fight because I went nuts when this happened. Max Muncy, the shorter, fat one, right, who hits home runs, and he's good. He's a great player. He's built like me. He was telling a story about, I forgot that he was the guy. He was telling a story about facing Madison Bumgarner, and Bumgarner got annoyed early in the game because he didn't get a couple of like really wide strikes that he always gets. So he's all pissed off. So then he didn't get a call with Muncy up there, and he's barking. And then Muncy takes one in San Fran and just crushes it into the bay. And he's running around, and he kind of looked at Mad Bum because Mad Bum had been barking at the home plate umpire. And Bumgarner yells at him, and he goes, "You don't look at me or the home run. You run. Go." And I remember being on there, and I'm like, what? I was like, you mother, right? I would have flipped out. But Muncy admitted, he goes, I looked at him, and he's like, I really wanted to keep saying stuff, but he's a really big guy, and he probably would have beaten me down. But he did, actually, when Muncy got the third base, he turned the third base corner, and he did say one more thing to Bumgarner, and he's like, "Hey, how about you go chase that ball out of the bay?" And Bumgarner, because he's walking at him. And that attitude of Mad Bum is kind of where pitchers were for a long time around baseball, and that is going to end. So it is kind of advantage hitters. You tell me, does it belong in the game?
What, like ABS?
Not ABS. What you said at the beginning of this, where you're like, it might be too exact.
Oh, first off, I don't believe that. There are friends of mine who are, and again, a lot of this has also come up because the only negative part in my book of this World Cup has been that fact that VAR has overstepped its bounds on multiple things, whether it was taking away that goal for Egypt, whether it was giving back. Again, the whole reason we had the Balkan mess was because VAR went back and slow-moed something that for 130 years of soccer would never have even been a card. Like, that's how we even got the Balkan mess. So there are some people that will always complain about replay one way or another. I think it's great because I'm good with the fact that you have 7 of the oldest umpires who have not been good for a while leaving the game because they can't take being shamed like this in a way and taking a buyout. I think it's perfect. You're just going to, and here's the other thing, and never made this point. The umpires that come up through the minors and are used to being critiqued on a game basis with their calls, guess what? That's motivating to get better, right? You don't want to get shamed 10 times in a game. All right, so if you miss 2 or 3 calls, big deal. It happens. Happens to everyone. We're human. But those ones were early in the season where Buckner legitimately had the 3 straight calls overturned in Cincinnati, and the crowd was going crazy like the Reds won the World Series. Like, you don't want to be a part of that moment if you're the umpire.
No. Giveaway time. We got tickets to the NBA Summer League, tickets to any day the rest of the way. I keep wanting to call it a tournament. The league goes through the 19th, July 19th. You can get your tickets at UNLVtickets.com. Summer League tickets right now. Connor's got them. 364-1100, caller 7. On the way back, a little more on soccer. I thought this was a great week for U.S. soccer. I know people were disappointed in the results against Belgium, but the conversation around it, I think we're going to look back on it and go, hey, that was a big moment for USA soccer. We needed that.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
ZipZap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, ZipZap is your one-stop shop, offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, body work, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, ZipZap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. ZipZap Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive, and online at zipzapauto.com.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55-plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
If you're considering purchasing a new or used Honda or need to service your current vehicle, go to the Name Las Vegas Trust for exceptional sales, service, and parts. Finley. Whether you're up north, down south, or somewhere in between, you're always just 15 minutes away from a Finley Honda store. Each location has friendly and knowledgeable sales and service professionals. So give us a call or stop in anytime. Finley Honda's been Centennial Hills and Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall. The difference is in the name.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Hypnosis can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Hypnosis with great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Hypnosis will be in Las Vegas on Sunday, July 12th.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I've lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
Only $59.99. Lose all the weight you want, 100% guaranteed. Sunday, July 12th at the Santa Fe Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Weight loss hypnosis at 11 a.m. with registration at 10:30. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
One moment can turn life upside down. Your comeback starts with the right team by your side. At DeCastro Verde Law, we've spent decades helping injured Nevadans take back their lives.
BrothersWin.com. Round up your friends and head to Whiskey Bar and Grill for Finally Friday Happy Hour. It's happening this Friday at Whiskey on West Cheyenne and Simmons in North Las Vegas as they continue the 100 days of summer with great food, cold drinks, and a whole lot of country fun. Enjoy extended happy hour from 3 to 7 with $7 select bar bites, half off draft beers, house wines, well drinks, and select cocktails, plus $3 Minden Mill Old Fashions. That's this Friday at Whiskey.
Go to Whiskey.
At Cheyenne and
Actually,
Simmons.
come to our remote here on the sports station.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On June 14th, Betty hit 4 fours, clearing her Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $11,000. Betty hit big and so can you with Gambler's bonus. It's why you play the game.
Don't miss the William Hill Radio Show, hosted by Paul Howard. Now live every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. at the William Hill Sportsbook inside Palms Casino Resort. He'll break down all the latest betting action, including the odds, matchups, and who bettors are backing the most. After the William Hill Radio Show, make the William Hill Sportsbook at Palms Casino Resort your home for betting with live, continuous in-game wagering. Don't miss the William Hill Radio Show every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Out there in the West, they don't mess around. At Godden Ford, right off the 215 in Rainbow, they've got the ride that's built to haul, crawl, and roll. The F-150, America's #1 truck with power you can feel. Want to rumble off-road? Get behind the wheel of the rugged Bronco, built for grit and guts. Right now, it's choose your summer adventure. Purchase a new Ford vehicle and you'll receive either Aviator tickets or Cowabunga Bay tickets and a chance to win $500 towards your registration. Godden Ford, family owned and run in the West since 1922.
NBA Summer League returns to the Thomas & Mack Center July 9th through the 19th, featuring all 30 teams and up to 8 games per day. Get your tickets now at UNLVtickets.com or call 702-739-FANS.
Fridays.
Coming back in 10.
Aviators host the Tacoma Rainiers at the Las Vegas Ballpark. The Las Vegas Aces are back in town. They'll host the Mercury tomorrow and the Fever on Sunday. And on Sunday, the Nighthawks host the San Diego Strikeforce.
You're listening to ESPN Las Vegas, live from Golden Circle Sports Bar inside the Treasure Island.
What a show of dumb conversations. And the goofiest thing is on Cofield and Company, the conversations off the air are even dumber. I'm gonna mention one of them here in a second, but I want to remind you that this is a great place over the weekend to watch soccer, baseball, obviously, NBA Summer League. We got Houston and Denver on the screens here going at it, but they really hook you up nicely, especially locals, because on the Strip, you know, a lot of folks are kind of fed up with the Strip, but TI still has a lot of respect for you guys. First of all, the menu items here are all online price-wise. They haven't jumped the prices a ton. They've got their beef brisket hot dog, a limited time special right now with a barbecue grilled all beef hot dog topped with creamy mac and cheese, served with fries. I'm guessing if Dustin Swedelson wanted to come down, they would throw some coleslaw on there because he was recommending the coleslaw in our convenience store conversation. But great menu. And they've got the all-day happy hour, 10 a to 6 p with the $5 draft beers. That's 7 days a week. So you and I were just talking about, this often happens, weather.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mentioning, I hadn't been down to Thomas and Mack in about a month. And listen, I've been to the Summer League pretty much all of these 22 years. Go down there and cover it, go down there and do live shows. So yesterday we went down to T&M to do the show on day one of the Summer League. And for some reason, I always remember, and I'm reminded it's a jolt, of I park in the T&M parking lot, and I feel like the first couple of days of Summer League, it's always super steamy because of the time of year, but there's also no wind.
No,
and
none.
I don't know what it is down there, but I got out of the car and I was like, and I'm never hot now. I really like, I bristle when people are like, it's too hot, because I'm fine. I mean, you know what's funny? As I get older, I wear pants more in the summer than I've ever worn before, right? I had pants on. I actually put a sport coat on. I was loading stuff up to go in, and I'm like, oh boy, like I never feel it, but I don't know what it is there. And then when you walk up, there's an area between, I really need to come up with a name for it. Hey, AI, help us on this one. There's an area by the Tark statue, by the pavilion and Thomas and Mack proper, where it is like the hottest place on earth. I don't know what it is. And yesterday it was hot as Hades. It was crazy. And you just mentioned during the break this weekend, you are playing mixed doubles tennis outside at noon on Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
What are you, nuts?
I wasn't in charge of the scheduling because look, my wife is a good tennis player.
She must be really good, because I didn't think that you were good. You must be good too.
Me, I've played 3 competitive matches with her in the mixed doubles league. Last summer we went 1-2. One of the losses we were completely overmatched. The other loss, we had 8 deuces, and we only won 1 out of the 8. So that was a very easy way to get clobbered, even though it was competitive. But I don't know. I look. The problem is, in the level we're playing, usually the higher rated player is the man as opposed to the woman, and my wife is the higher rated player in our duo, which puts us at a little bit of a disadvantage right out of the gate. And I do not have a good serve, Cofield. I am wildly inconsistent, and when my serve is good, it means that I'm spinning it well because it's off speed change up. There's no controlled velocity when it comes to that.
What's your best racket sport? Because they're all about the same.
Oh, so
tennis, I think tennis is the hardest because it's the most physical.
So my best racket sport is pickleball.
See, I haven't tried pickleball yet.
It is pickleball because I am a bigger person. So
by the way, we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
And I think JVT was underrating your bigness. Remember that whole conversation? Because I know you're in and out. You've been traveling a little bit. We had a whole conversation about Aubrey Huff, like threatened one of our guests and said,
I remember.
And, and he said, hey, DM me.
Yeah, but he wasn't the guest like a huge guy though, right?
No, the guest is not a big guy.
Oh, I'm confusing him with someone
Aubrey
else.
Huff is a big guy. He's 6'4" and 230. And the more I started thinking about our show, and like basically Aubrey Huff was like, come, that's what people do. Hey, come to me and say that to my face and see what happens. And I was thinking about it on our show. I'm like, I think almost everyone on our show would probably say it to him. I would. I'm the smallest person, but I like getting punched in the face. I don't care. And I'm a loudmouth. But I was thinking about our show, and I'm like Willie is short, but he's stocky. But like we have like pretty decent size on the show. It doesn't mean anyone can fight.
No, I can't.
But I said your size, and then John was like, "He's not that tall."
I'm 6'1".
You're only 6'1". Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I had you at 6'3".
No, I wish I was. I mean, my brother was 6'4".
I think John. I don't know if JVT like looks taller because he's lost weight. He's lost like 60 pounds, but
JVT's always like, even with the weight loss, JVT's always been a big guy.
He feels bigger now that he weighs 235 instead of 297.
Oh, he's now formidable.
I don't know about that.
He's formidable.
What are you at now? You say
250.
Okay, I said you were 251.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam's a big guy. He's 6'3", and 300
Adam's taller than me.
Yeah. And we had some guests come on. Obviously, RJ Clifford, who's a former professional fighter, he gave us what he would do against someone who's 6'4", 230, and he did it like so calmly and in a calculated fashion. I'm like, he would do that. And then who else? Oh, John Browner, who played college basketball, and he's like 6'7", 205. He was like, I'd have no problem telling him, you're an idiot. So.
But
6'1", 251 playing tennis, and you're obviously in much better shape than you were a year ago.
Oh, I co-feel
2 years ago.
that's the biggest thing. Once I've started losing the weight, and I'm gonna have to be a little careful here because I put a little bit back on, but I'm still only at that number that you said. But the ability to get the things I had no ability to get to when I was at 280, is
that's a
remarkable.
Lot. That's a lot of mass to play tennis with.
Like losing 30 pounds, for that is huge, because now there's stuff I can run down, and I'm not fleet of foot. I am one of my youth growing up in 8th grade. There was at one point, and I was never a fast guy, even though I was for New Jersey suburbia basketball. I wasn't terrible for the middle school years. In 8th grade, for 8th grade, I was asked to pinch run, and it was one of the most. It was the proudest sporting moment of my life.
That was it.
I was like, all right, I have become as fleet of foot enough that I am asked to pinch run in a baseball game. Now, granted, the dude that I was asked to pinch run for was as an 8th grader was 6'2", 300.
Wow.
So
big upgrade.
It made sense for me at that point. I was 5'11", 180 at that point. So I was relatively svelte at that point of my life.
Sure. Well, to go back to your wife being the lead on the tennis team and you having to, swallow your pride a little bit, I got to mention there's a lot of points on USA Soccer we could talk about.
Yeah.
One of the things I really enjoyed is that Carly Lloyd really jumped in as a super critical voice. Now, one, that drives guys in general nuts because they just hate women in sports. Two, someone needed to do it.
Yeah.
And listen, she was on the World Cup on the women's side. I didn't realize that the women get a cut of what the guys get.
Yeah.
That was negotiated in.
Yeah.
So they are vested in how well they do.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't she complain? Because the men will get a cut of what the women do, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you though, I will remember round of 16 for the women. No. Like, as much as we gave it to the men, when the Women's World Cup is next year, right?
Yeah, Brazil, yeah.
Next year, if they're a top 4 favorite and they go out in the round of 16, this isn't going to be hey, good job, ladies. No. Because now we're into this, and believe me, this is the way I treated it. When they went out in the round of 16, I freaking exploded. Like, hey, there are standards. When you're a favorite in a tournament, and the women shouldn't want that. They shouldn't want, hey, nice effort.
No,
that's not the way it works. But I did love that Carly Lloyd drove a lot of people nuts, and then we played all the Landon Donovan stuff.
Sure.
Apparently, Pulisic is, because she really went after him. Like, he hasn't really handled himself very well, and he's angered a lot of people. So, listen, when you fall short and you kind of carry yourself with an arrogance, people are going to go at you.
Look, Pulisic.
That's all of sports.
For his World Cup tenures through the year, Pulisic has one big-time moment, Cofield. And that was the game-winning goal against Iran in the 22 World Cup, which saved the U.S. from being embarrassed and being knocked out in the group stage, and then they flipped around and they were completely outclassed by the Dutch that year. Not as badly outclassed as they were on Monday, which was a complete embarrassment what they did on Monday against a Belgium team that, pushed Spain to the brink earlier today in L.A., but you should never be losing 4-1 to that version of Belgium. It's not the Belgian team we saw 8 years ago that I thought was the best team in that tournament, but lost 1-0 to France. Also, by the way, Carly Lloyd has an amazing Philadelphia accent. I did not know that until I saw her on World Cup coverage. But
she's from right there.
Yeah,
she's from Delran, New Jersey.
Unbelievable Philadelphia accent. But look, it's such a interesting thing with this World Cup, right? Like, they won 3 out of 4 matches before the disaster against Belgium. The whole thing with Balogun gave everyone a weird taste in their mouth. And this is going to be looked back at. I hope it's looked back at, hey, we don't want to feel like we did after the Belgium match ever again. But I don't have any confidence in that being the take long term.
But I do think that the conversation, all the conversation around it, will lead to more conversation. It won't just be a disappearing act for the next 3 years.
I agree with that.
And I don't know if we're going to find a way to change the entire weird economic system of soccer, which apparently does shut out a lot of kids who could play but can't afford it. I think there's going to be an effort to have more affordable soccer played, and then the national program should be called on the carpet if they seem like they're being exclusionary. Right? There's a lot at stake here. And listen, Carly Lloyd and the women should be one of the driving forces. Like, hey, they should be looking in going, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, get out of here. It's none of your business. No, it is our business. We get a cut of it. Get it right.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Over 40 years ago, I started the Richard Harris Law Firm right here in Nevada. And today we've grown to be the largest personal injury firm in the state. We got there by doing one thing. If there's a win, we're right in the middle of it. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 444-4444.
Summer just got a whole lot more rewarding at Terrible's. During our 100 days of summer, we are dropping new deals every single day. At Terrible's, the calendar is stacked. Free products, buy one, get one offers, and 50 cents off each gallon of gas every day. What are you waiting for? The only way to find out is to download the Terrible's Plus Rewards app and earn daily rewards all summer long. 100 days of summer at Terrible's. Something new every day, everywhere. Visit Terrible's.com for details.
Twin Peaks is unmatched for every match with 29-degree drafts of Michelob Ultra, handcrafted Casamigos margaritas, a scratch-made menu, and screens that put you in the front row of every game. It's all going down at the Lodge. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's JT for Finley Volvo Las Vegas. And how about this deal on the 2025 Volvo EX90, fully electric with 3-row seating. 0% APR for up to 72 months. A $7,500 purchase bonus, and a $1,000 Volvo loyalty bonus. It's all waiting for you right now. Please go test drive a vehicle. You'll thank me for it at Finley Volvo, Las Vegas.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it, like that. Ask your phone, group chat, smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696. And manage your diabetes as easy as...
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Hey Nevada, I'm Jacob Taylor, the real estate guy. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Growing up with Aaron Taylor taught me that nobody negotiates harder or gets seller's top dollar like the real estate guy. Need a cash advance? We can put money in your hands before closing to help with repairs, moving, bills, or whatever you need most. Don't want strangers walking through your home every weekend? No problem. We'll give you one simple number, your bottom line. No commissions, no hidden fees, no guessing. Just a straightforward offer, and in many cases, money in your hands in as little as 3 days. And if you're renting, ask me about My Buy Bank. You'll receive a $2,000 credit plus 10% of your monthly rent, all to use towards the purchase of your next home. Call 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. eXp Realty, license number 38886. Call for details.
Talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55-plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Coming back in 15 here.
Dealing with the insurance companies, let us get you all the money you deserve. Call 877-1500. That's 877-1500.
Murder Road is the way to go. Call 877-1500. 877-1500.
Randy Westbrook, managing attorney.
Cofield and Company presents Grab Bag on ESPN Las Vegas.
Put your hand in there, Dave.
All right, wrapping things up here at the Golden Circle Sports Bar, Treasure Island. Get on down anytime this weekend. Check out tremendous sports bar, 55-plus TVs, happy hour every day, 10 to 6 with the $5 draft beers. 2 World Cup games tomorrow. A couple of breaking notes from baseball. One, Cardinals. This kid, J.J. Weatherholt, this is the new thing in baseball. You know, cup of coffee, achieve, they're high on you, sign so that you don't go to free agency and get, $35 million a year. He is in agreement with the Cardinals on an 8-year deal for $112.5 million. Back in the bag.
Stick your hand in there, Dave.
Also breaking news from baseball, no Shohei at the All-Star game. So irritation in the left knee, was going to pitch to close out the first half, not going to pitch, so they're going to get him some extra rest, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, there's not much else to be said on that, right?
Right.
The All-Star game's
Jerk. Like,
the All-Star game's
right.
completely meaningless at this point in Major League Baseball. So the only thing is that he was out of the home run derby, but they replaced him with Murakami. So nothing wrong there. Like, Murakami deserves to be in the home run derby. So no, nothing wrong there for me.
Back in the bag.
Stick your hand in there, Dave.
So Wednesday, we were talking to Miles Simmons. I know Miles is a big gamer. Miles, of course, from Pro Football Talk. I mentioned EA and what they're doing with College Football 27, and he went on for 3 minutes, and I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but he's really worked up right now. And then during a break, you were like, yeah, EA cracked. They're changing.
No microtransactions.
I didn't know what microtransactions were, but apparently they got enough pressure. I just kept seeing stuff online. I was like, people are pissed off.
Yeah, no, look, the video game influencers that be really did put the pressure on EA. And look, it's silly. And it's silly that EA decided to do this it's one thing when it's online related things, but these are the offline mode things. They threw microtransactions into Dynasty mode. They threw it into Road to Glory, which is you create your player, try to win the Heisman, try to win a national championship. And they're doing a lot of great things this year with that game because they finally introduced NIL, Cofield, to the video game, which I did the beta testing of it. It was very complex to try to manage it, especially when you start out in a lesser program like a lot of people will do.
I am so out of the gaming realm, and I don't want to insult anyone. I just thought, I swear, I was going to sound like a grandfather. I'll say it on the air. But as you were saying that, I was like, yeah, maybe I should get Jeff Miles' number so they can play together. I don't even know if that happens. I don't know what that means.
You can, but hey, look, when you've won a national championship at Syracuse in college football 26, Cofield.
We got to close on this one. I don't know how I'm still in the air. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. I have no read on what you guys are going to react to. The reaction to Colangelo's, Jay Williams, Del Negro, NBA ownership group, I thought people would react to like who they are, who the owners are. The only thing people cared about was that the name was Jacks, the Las Vegas Jacks, and everyone's like, "Not the name." I don't care, but it is kind of brilliant. I think that was a troll.
Maybe.
I think it was a troll. They're like, what's a name that will really get people irked? Because honestly, if they'd come across and they're like, we're going to be the Las Vegas Lizards, like people would have been like, yeah, whatever. But they reacted to the Jacks.
Oh, people were not happy.
Did not like it. Connor, good job the last couple of days. Thanks, Angel. We'll see you, everybody.
Some say taters. I say.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.